Walking away, choosing peace over anger. Ever felt like your anger is controlling your life? What if I told you that walking away in the heat of the moment is the key to unlocking true peace? In this video, I'm sharing how to choose peace over anger and transform your life. Ready to let go? Watch now. Anger is a natural emotion, but when we allow it to control us, it can destroy relationships, harm our health, and derail our sense of peace. This video is about making the courageous choice to walk away from toxic arguments, hurtful people, and situations that provoke anger. Today, we'll explore why walking away isn't weakness but strength, and how you can use this skill to transform your life. Understanding anger. The nature of anger. What exactly is anger? It's a powerful emotional response triggered when we feel threatened, disrespected, or blocked from achieving our goals. The role of the amygdala. The amygdala, often called the brain's alarm system, detects threats and triggers anger. This can lead to the fight or flight response, making us act impulsively. The role of the prefrontal cortex. The part of the brain responsible for decision-making and rational thinking. Anger shuts down this area, which is why we often regret actions taken in anger. Why anger escalates. Anger often escalates because we're focused on proving we're right, not resolving the issue. This creates a cycle where emotions run higher and the problem gets bigger. Personal triggers that amplify anger. The role of ego in arguments. How unresolved anger affects mental and physical health, for example, stress, high blood pressure. Why walking away matters. Choosing peace over ego. Walking away doesn't mean losing an argument. It means choosing your peace and deciding not to let another person's behavior control your emotions. 70% of conflicts escalate because neither party is willing to disengage. Walking away reduces stress hormones like cortisol by up to 50%. In a real-life example, imagine a couple, Sarah and James, having a heated argument about a miscommunication. James thought Sarah was ignoring his text messages all day, but Sarah was busy with work and didn't have time to reply. As emotions start to rise, Sarah notices James getting more upset. Instead of matching his tone, she calmly says, "I can see you're frustrated, and I understand why. I think we both need a moment to cool down. How about we take a short break and come back to talk about this when we're feeling a bit clearer?" James, still a bit upset but hearing her calm approach, takes a deep breath. "You're right, I need to calm down. Let's take a break and talk after." By suggesting a break rather than escalating the argument, Sarah de-escalates the situation, allowing both of them to regain composure and approach the issue with a clearer mind, eventually resolving the misunderstanding. Growth often comes from the moments we choose to pause, step back, and reflect. Today, we hear from individuals whose lives were changed by the simple but profound decision to walk away, take a break, and approach challenges with a clear mind. Speaker 1. A manager. "There was a time when I'd argue with my employees until I was red in the face. I thought I had to prove myself every time we disagreed, but then I realized I wasn't helping anyone. I was just escalating the conflict. Learning to pause, walk away, and cool down before responding helped me build trust with my team. I started seeing them as people, not just subordinates. And that made all the difference." Speaker 2. The parent. "I used to yell at my kids when they misbehaved. It felt like the only way to get through to them. But one day, I saw the fear in their eyes, and it broke my heart. Now, when they act up, I step away, take deep breaths, and approach them calmly. I've noticed that when I stay composed, they are more likely to listen. It's changed our relationship now. We talk things through instead of just reacting." Speaker 3. A recovering spouse. "Walking away saved my marriage. My spouse and I had a pattern where we'd argue, and neither of us wanted to back down. It led to a lot of hurt feelings. But one day, I realized that walking away wasn't a sign of weakness, it was a tool for strength. Instead of fighting, I learned to say, 'Let's discuss this later,' and it worked." It's incredible how much easier it is to resolve things when you're calm. Now, we communicate so much better. Growth isn't always about pushing harder, it's about knowing when to take a step back. When we choose to pause, we create space for understanding, healing, and connection. Sometimes it's the break we take that leads to the breakthrough we need. Techniques to stay calm. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into something that can completely change how we handle difficult situations, how to stay calm when everything around us is escalating. I'm joined by Dr. Clara, a psychologist with over 15 years of experience helping people manage stress and emotions. Dr. Clara, thanks so much for being here. Psychologist Dr. Clara, thank you for having me. It's such an important topic, and I'm excited to share some techniques that can really make a difference. So, let's start with something a lot of people struggle with. When we feel ourselves getting angry or upset, it can be hard to know what to do next. How do we walk away effectively without feeling guilty or weak? Great question. A lot of people think stepping away means you're avoiding the issue, but in fact, it's a powerful way to regain control. Walking away gives you the space to respond calmly and with clarity. There are a few key techniques I recommend, and they can really help in those intense moments. 1. Grounding techniques. One of the best ways to calm your mind is to engage in grounding techniques. The goal is to bring your focus back to the present moment, away from the emotional rush. One very effective exercise is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Dr. Clara demonstrates the breathing exercise as the host follows along. Here's how it works. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold your breath for a count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a great technique to calm your nervous system and reduce anxiety. That feels amazing. I can already feel the tension leaving. What's next? Along with breathing, visualization can be really helpful. Picture a place that makes you feel calm, a beach, a forest, anywhere that brings you peace. Even just taking a moment to mentally escape to that place can reduce your stress. 2. Mental reminders. Now, let's talk about mental reminders. Often, we get caught up in the heat of the moment, but it helps to remind yourself that stepping away doesn't mean giving up. Use a mantra to center yourself. I like phrases like, "This isn't worth my peace," or "I'll handle this later." When you say those words, it helps you refocus on what's truly important. You're reminding yourself that you don't have to react immediately, you can choose when to engage. That's a great one. It's like telling yourself, "I don't need to win this battle right now." Exactly. It's about protecting your emotional space, and that leads us to the next point: physical signals. 3. Physical signals. Pay attention to how your body is reacting when things are escalating. Are your shoulders tightening? Is your voice rising? Those are early indicators that you might need to step away. When you notice these signs, it's time to hit pause. So, we don't always have to wait until we're fully worked up. We can spot those little signs early on. Exactly. Being aware of your physical state can help you intervene before things get out of hand. It's like your body is sending you a message, "Hey, slow down." These are such simple yet powerful techniques. We don't need to wait until we're completely overwhelmed to use them. So, to recap: breathing, mental reminders, and physical awareness, 3 tools we can all use to stay calm in stressful situations. Exactly. And the best part is, you can practice these techniques even when you're not in a conflict. It makes it easier to respond calmly when you do face a stressful situation. Recognizing triggers. Now, we're talking about triggers. These are the situations, words, or behaviors that can set off our anger or stress. Dr. Clara, why is it so important to recognize our triggers? Great question. Understanding your triggers is crucial because it allows you to be proactive. Once you know what sets you off, you can better prepare yourself to manage your reactions before things escalate. You're no longer caught off guard by your emotions. So, what do you think are some common triggers that people experience in everyday life? Disrespect, frustration, fatigue, being ignored, or receiving harsh criticism. These are all powerful emotional triggers. When we recognize them, we can be more mindful of how we react. Now, let's talk about setting boundaries. Walking away doesn't mean you're avoiding the problem, it means creating space to think and respond thoughtfully. So, how do we set boundaries effectively in those moments? Setting boundaries is about protecting your emotional space. You don't have to engage in every battle. By setting clear, calm boundaries, you show others that you value your peace and need space to respond. So, let's look at some simple scripts. What would a boundary setting statement sound like? Here are a couple of examples that can work in various situations. I need some time to cool off. Let's revisit this later. I don't think we're being productive right now. Let's pause and come back to this. I need some time to cool off. Let's revisit this later. That sounds firm yet respectful. And this one, I don't think we're being productive right now. Let's pause. That's a good way to signal that you're not avoiding, just taking a break. Exactly. The key is to remain calm, clear, and respectful. These boundaries protect your emotional well-being while giving you space to approach the situation with a clearer mind. That's right. Setting boundaries is an act of self-care, and it helps you maintain a sense of peace in difficult moments. Thank you so much, Dr. Clara, for these incredible tips. And to everyone watching, stay with us. We're coming up next with some real-life success stories of people who've used these techniques to transform their emotional responses. You won't want to miss it. The camera fades out as the host and psychologist exchange smiles, and calm music plays in the background. Long-term benefits of walking away. The ripple effect. The benefits of walking away extend beyond the moment. It's not just about avoiding conflict in the heat of the moment. Over time, this practice improves your relationships, reduces stress, and makes you a more thoughtful communicator. Statistic 1. Studies show that taking breaks during heated conversations can reduce conflict by up to 60%. Statistic 2. People who practice pausing and walking away report 40% lower stress levels in their daily lives. Statistic 3. Leaders known for their calm demeanor experience improved decision-making and healthier team dynamics. It's also worth noting that many famous leaders have mastered the art of disengaging from toxic arguments. Their ability to remain composed in the face of conflict has been key to their success. Mahatma Gandhi, leading through non-violence and restraint. These leaders weren't immune to stress or conflict, but their ability to stay calm and avoid escalating situations allowed them to lead with wisdom and clarity. Walking away isn't just a reaction, it's a strategic choice, and the benefits ripple out into every area of your life, creating a cycle of peace that grows stronger with each practice. Now, let's hear from a few people whose lives have been transformed by adopting the practice of walking away. It's not always easy, but these stories show the long-term benefits of taking a step back. Speaker 1. Before I learned to walk away, my arguments always ended in broken friendships. I'd get so wrapped up in proving I was right, I didn't even notice how much I was pushing people away. Now, I value peace over being right. I've learned that stepping away, even for a moment, gives me the time I need to approach things more thoughtfully. My relationships have improved dramatically since then. That's such an important shift to prioritize peace over being right. It's not just about winning, it's about creating a space for understanding. Speaker 2. It's not easy at first. The urge to respond immediately, to defend yourself, is strong. But every time you choose to walk away, you're training yourself to stay calm under pressure. It's like building muscle. At first, it's tough, but over time, it becomes easier, and the results are worth it. Now, I feel more in control of my emotions, and I don't get caught up in arguments like I used to. Absolutely. It's like any skill, practice makes it easier, and eventually, you can respond with calmness almost instinctively. And it's not just about arguments, it's how I handle stress at work, with family, even with myself. When I feel that tension building up, I recognize it and know I need a moment to step back and breathe. It's helped me avoid a lot of unnecessary conflict and kept my peace intact. That's incredible. So, the benefits go beyond just handling conflict. They're a way to maintain your peace and well-being every day. Exactly. It's like this ripple effect. I'm more patient with my kids, more understanding with my colleagues, and I even handle stressful situations with more ease. It all started with learning how to walk away. These stories are such a powerful reminder that the simple act of walking away can create a lifetime of benefits, improving your relationships, your emotional health, and even your day-to-day interactions. As we've seen today, taking a step back when emotions run high isn't just a tactic for conflict, it's a tool for long-term growth and peace. So, take a moment to reflect. What would happen if, the next time you feel the urge to react, you chose to walk away instead? Could it change the way you engage with the world around you? Thanks for joining us today. Remember, your peace is worth protecting. And every step you take toward calmness is a step toward a healthier, happier life. Start today. Choose peace. Walking away isn't about giving up. It's about gaining control over your emotions and your life. The next time anger calls, choose peace. Because in the end, your mental well-being is far more valuable than winning an argument. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Let's keep growing together.